Hey guys, Cindy over paper.old.new. Thanks for coming by and spending some time with me. This is the video that I had made the comment in the last video that I was going to try and do like a couple of little, what do you call them? A couple of little things that you can do fabric with. I don't know what this is going to turn into because what I really want to do is fabric samples. And I have two different ways to do it, and a couple of different backgrounds. And so I thought we would look at putting some of these together. And I think they're going to be a lot of fun. I just have to figure out what I want to put everything on. So like I have this one, this particular fabric sample is floral fabric samples. And what I was thinking about doing was putting it on here, and basically you glue a piece down, and a little piece here, like that. And you get this really cool, like, sample card. And you can cover up as much of this or as little of this as you want. I kind of covered up the check number part, but maybe what I'll do is I'll go up and I'll cover up like, well, like that. This hangs off either side, which is okay. I've seen sample cards made a couple of different times in a couple of different ways. So I just want to look at doing some of these. This is kind of a combination of two things that I've seen. And we're just going to kind of glue fabric down to stuff and see what we come up with. Sorry, I was getting a smooshy tool. I'm going to try and keep my hands from getting too messy. No promises. Now, I'm using Fabri-Tac because I have no intention of sewing these. So this is going to go down with Fabri-Tac. And I'm just going to glue this on here. Now, this fabric is relatively thin, so you may be able to see the numbers and stuff through it, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that. This fabric also is thin. Okay, and I'm just going to smush it. I like to smush it down just so that it doesn't seep through. I'm trying to keep the fabric, I don't want glue coming up through it as best as I can. All right, now this one I want to glue all the way down to where the bottom is. Mostly because it has a big wrinkle in it, and I want the wrinkle to unfold. I don't want to iron it, if I'm honest. So we're going to put this down on here like this. I didn't smush this. This is a much heavier fabric, so I'm hoping that not smushing it will be okay. It's almost like a pink denim. Okay, and then there we have like a little fabric. Now this I would call a floral fabric sample because this is all floral fabrics. And if you wanted, you could stick a matching button on here. I mean, how cute would that be? Or this one, I don't know. Right? You could even stick a ruffle. I mean, you can decorate this little card any way you want. And then you have the back here that can be used for journaling space. So, I think these are really cute to stick in pockets or make little flip thingies out of, or, you know, whatever like that. So, okay, so the other idea was paint cards. These are paint cards from Home Depot, Lowe's. Says right there. And I thought it might be fun to use these as sample cards. And I can't remember. Oh, I know. Hold on. Let's move all these out of the way. First, we're going to cut this bottom part with the window off. So this is going to be a kind of a small sample card, but it's a good way if you've got, and these paint chip things, they come in all different, what do you call them? Like, you can get them in all different sizes. I've seen some that are shaped like little houses or, you know, whatever like that. So, I mean, they come in shape. Where is behind my glue where I can't see it? That's where it is. So I've seen them in all different shapes and sizes. So depending on what ones you have, I happen to have these and they stuck a window in them. I'm not sure what the purpose for that is. Maybe so you can sit it up against something and see how well it goes. I don't know. But I have this little window and I know what I want to do with that. So we're going to hold on to that for a minute. And then I have this card. And because it already has 2 rounded corners, this is not a requirement either. Maybe you want to make a pocket out of it or, you know, whatever, and you don't want to round the other 2 corners. I think, maybe not. Maybe that one. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That works. Okay, so now we have this. And what I was thinking was I could get, this could be a yellow sample card. Okay. So I have several different pieces of yellow. Where is that piece I had? I was going to say I lost the piece that was white with yellow polka dots, and then I've got yellow with white polka dots, so that's a nice contrast. And then we can do this one that's got a little bit of the flowers on it. Oh, you know what, guys? I've got a bunch of yellow. Okay, somehow, some way, I have lost some yellow fabric that I had here, but I found some other stuff since, for some reason, I've got, you know, a big, giant black hole that's swallowing my fabric. I don't know. Anyway, sorry. I didn't mean to go off on a tangent. So basically what I thought to do with this was to make small, and I do want them pinked. Is that what you call it when you use the pinking shears? They're pinked. So I want them to be little squares because this is a small card. And I'm just going to cut around this piece, and it's white with yellow. Okay, so we have that. And then I'm going to cut one of these off. You know what, it might be better to do is tear this one because it's not big enough. Although small is what I'm looking for. So let's cut here. Oh, barely. And we'll cut here. Again, barely. And then I'll try and trim the ends. And I'll get a little square. Okay. So these are my little samples. So then we put that one there. See, and you get the idea. You just put these little bits down. Some of these bits get a little too small. I mean, it's all going to be in what you can keep. Guys, I have a ton of little fabric bits just laying around, taking up space. Okay, and then we're going to do, I'm going to do one of these. So I'm going to need a bit like this. And then we'll cut it about there, and that should give us another little, and I'm going to try, I think I've got enough to put like 6 on here. Question is, do I have enough space to put 6 on here? Okay. And then we'll do a piece of this. So, this idea comes from a couple of different places. I've seen fabric sample cards that are like this, almost like a paint sample card. I've seen fabric sample cards like the next one we're going to do, which I love. I think they're great because I like all of the texture. I think it's fun. So, and these are not the same size, but, you know, I'm cutting with pinking shears here, guys. I feel like it's harder when you have these kind of shears to cut straight or to tell how big what you're cutting is. There, that's a little better. It's a little closer. Okay, and then what I wanted to do, a piece of this. As you can see, we can just put a piece of plain yellow on here. And this one will literally just be a sample card. Oops. Okay. We're going to cut up the side. And I think these are the right, that might be a little tall. And then hopefully that's the right size, because I can't really. And I do want to cover up the numbers, the code. I don't want that for this particular thing. All right, and then the other one that I wanted was this one that will give us some texture, which I adore. So this piece here is from an upholstery sample that I found in a thrift store. So and cutting it with pinking shears kind of works. I mean, it's got a pinked edge, it's just whether or not you can tell. I suppose I could take one of these and put it on here and then try and cut around it, kind of. Okay. And I'll go down in the middle here. Well, and then I just cut the edge off. Or you can put this one up here and let it be up at the top and stick off the top, since it's bigger than the others and it's kind of bulky. And there we go. So let's glue these down and we have a little yellow sample card. Guys, I'm having so much fun with this fabric thing that we're doing. Uh-oh. Now, the cleanup isn't fun. I mean, you get the strings and the little bits of fabric everywhere. But, I mean, what you get out of it, the result, is awesome. Uh-oh. I might have to turn my fan down, guys. Which is going to require me to get up and go to the other side of my room for a second. I am going to have to turn it down, though, because it's this thin layer of glue. The thin layer of glue I'm trying to achieve with the well, that was the reason. It was clogged. It let loose a big little piece of. I'll have to get some. So much for keeping my hands clean. I know, it's silly, isn't it? Oh, wow. The Fabri-Tac takes the paint off of the paint card. So if you're making one of these with a paint card, be careful. Because now I have, see, the latex paint on my finger? Anyway. All right. So let's do this one. Spread it. Uh-oh. Starting to get away from me a little bit. I need to clean the end of this because it's getting glue out beyond where I'm putting it, and I don't want it to mess up my card. So we're going to have to make sure we keep this kind of clean. It's just what you want to do. Watch me pick glue off of silicone. I also don't know how wide they are, so sometimes I make the spot too big. So hopefully it'll just dry out there. Okay, and I know I want to cover up the numbers. Okay, so I'll put that down right there. All right, and then this will be our last one on this one. We're going to see, I had mentioned that I wanted this video, I said it earlier, to be one of those things where we do like several things with fabric. So let's just see how it goes. So that's the other sample card. So we've done this sample card where it's a theme. So this is floral fabrics, right? And then we did this sample card, which was a color. That's yellow. Okay, so you can do those like that. And then the other sample card I wanted to show you was something that I did. Okay, so the other sample card I wanted to show you, and I think we'll do it on here, which means I need to cut this. So let me cut this in half. I'm just going to cut it right along the fold line. I had folded a bunch of these in half thinking that, you know, I could make little booklets out of them, which you still could. And you could even make a fabric sample booklet. I mean, there's no reason that I couldn't keep this as a booklet and make a fabric sample out of it. That is so not straight. Not really sure how I managed to do that. I had a straight fold to work from. And I still managed to cut that all kind of off. All right. Okay. Now, what we're going to do with this one is we're going to find, as if you were going to do the like, say you're putting together a, I don't know, like a room or, you know, something like that. You're trying to decorate and you need fabrics to decorate with. So we're going to do something like that. So basically what I'm going to do is we have this would be like an upholstery. Okay, and they don't necessarily have to have pinked edges. This one has kind of got some edges I don't like. So I'm going to try this and see if it cleans them up some. But other than that, like that. Ooh, look at all the fuzz. Can you see that? Ooh, and a piece of this might actually go, so we might take another piece of this off. I'm running low on this, and I haven't really run across any more fabric samples like this, which I'm kind of sad, but you know, it is what it is. Okay, so put that over there. And as you can see, I have more of these, so I mean, you know, I can futz with those. All right, now the idea behind this would be that you have bigger samples. So it's not necessarily, I don't know that I wanted the sample to be that big because I want to share this with other pages. So we're going to take it like that. Okay, put that over there. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to arrange our samples. So I might put that one there. And this is almost like a cluster. But what you're doing is you're trying to make it seem like you're putting together a fabric sample set for, say, a client or, you know, like that. Let's put this down here like that. We're going to let this hang off, and we'll put this up here like an accent. Okay? And if I had another piece of fabric that I liked with it, oh, wait, no, I wanted to use a piece of this. So we're going to take a piece of this off of here. Hold on. I didn't like that cut. Okay. We're going to take a piece of this off of here, and I'm going to go like this. All right, and then you can trim it. I don't think I want it that wide. Okay. Sorry, I know I'm being quiet because I'm concentrating on my scissors. Okay, so we're going to put that on there like that, and then we're going to put this down, and then you might even go... This is not cooperating with me, guys. Oops, that's not straight. So we're going to do it like that. We'll do it like that. And then we'll do it like this. Okay, and then you have a sample card. And then what you do is you add some buttons or some other accessories that would go. I might try and see if I have any. Let's see, so I've got some dark down here. I don't know that I want anything too big. I mean, you could put something like that on there, but that feels too big for the card. And all my big buttons are on the top, so let's pull some of these out of here and see if I can. Wow, I have really whittled down. I have either this or I have this. That's too light. Although you could stick, you can also put the buttons in multiple places. So I might stick a button here as if I'm signifying that there'll be some sort of button trim on this pillow, or maybe button trim on something that's covered with that upholstery fabric. And then maybe I take a dark button and stick it up here with the peach fabric, or over here with this fabric. Either way, you just kind of, and it doesn't have to be on an edge either. I could stick it on this upholstery fabric. I think I'm going to stick it here though. All right. Now, I need to turn on my hot glue gun. I know, you guys, I'm constantly reaching. Now that everything's within reach, I'm constantly leaning into my camera and reaching for things. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to slide all of this off of here. I'm trying to think of anything else I might want to put on here. I don't think I have any. A sample of lace of some sort or trim would be good. What about a little shimmer? If I can find the end of it. I've got this kind of aged rickrack with gold running through it. Is this the end? Yeah. Okay. And maybe we'll put a piece of this on here. I don't know where yet, but I'm going to cut a piece off. And we might stick some of that on there. Okay, so let's move the button. And we're just going to try and remember where all of this goes. So the first thing I need to stick down is this. And like I said, I'm hoping to get to other ideas. So this will be the last sample card we make. And then, these are going to overlap, but I don't know if I'm actually going to put glue on the fabric. Like right there where it overlaps. I don't know if I'm going to put glue there. I don't necessarily need to. As long as it just stays on the card, I don't. Okay, like that. Now, this was going to be on here. The question is whether or not I want this going up the side, or if I want it going up like this. Not like underneath there. So it would go like that, and then like that. I'm also wondering if I should turn this around so that way the red gets carried across the card rather than just all being piled on top of itself. Okay, or I can do it on this side, and if I put it down a little bit, this button will sit on top of it. The button has a flat spot, like a chip taken out of it. Anyway, so like that. Let's do that, and I think I'll hot glue the trim. Ooh, okay, where's my paper towel? I really don't like it when everything starts getting drippy. Okay, so I should have done it from the bottom because that's how I know where it needs to be. Okay, but we're all right. Okay, now let's put glue on here. And then put this down like that. Okay, and we're going to put glue on here. And we'll put this button on. I'm just trying to stay out of the holes a little bit, just to see if I can keep it from looking like there's glue coming up through them, because usually that's what happens. Okay, all right. Now we're going to put this one down, and it's going to go, let's see. Like that. I might not have any choice but to put some glue on the fabric over there. Like right here. Just smoosh it like you do everywhere else. And then put this on here like this. Okay, now this one I think I might put hot glue on. It's heavier, so just to be safe. I am hanging it off too, so. All right, I'm gonna put this one on. See how quick they come together relatively quickly if you can, you know, get out all your scraps, make some plans, group things by color. And as you can see, I have multiple patterns on here. So I've got this crazy geometric pattern along with these florals and this kind of tapestry. So, I mean, sky's the limit on what you want to do as far as mixing and matching goes. Oh, and you know what? I might put this up here and have it stick off the top. So I have one sticking off over here and one sticking off up here. Okay. Just gonna put this right there. I don't want it to be necessarily centered. Okay, and there we have a fabric sample card. And now this one, like I said, would be more like a decorator card or a, you know, like that, like you were planning a room or something of that nature. So our sample cards are color, like decorating, and this one is themed, so this one's floral. And you know, you can take that theme and do anything with it. It doesn't have to be flowers, it can be shapes, it can be hearts, it can be whatever you've got like multiple versions of in your fabric collection. Fabric is just a common one, and I have a lot of it. All right, I want to get these fuzzies off here. Okay, the next thing I wanted to do, and I don't know if we're going to need this, so I'm going to turn it off for now. If I'm looking like I'm going to need it, I'll turn it back on. All right, so sample cards. I'm going to set these off to the side. We're going to move on to bookmarks. This is not going to be a long one. This one's going to be relatively easy because I have this really cool paper from the Dollar Tree. And this one, I'm not going to, this is going to be a combination between a sample card and a bookmark. All right, so basically what I want to do is I want to punch a hole before I get started. And the reason I'm doing that is just so that I can find the hole when I'm done on the back. That's too small. Wait, what's this one? Probably that. Okay, so we're going to go down on here and I'm going to punch a hole in it. All right, there we go. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing on this one. I just want a hole in the top so that when I'm done with this, I know where in the fabric, because I'm not sure, I don't think my punch is going to punch through fabric, so I'm probably going to have to like stick a pokey tool or something in there. I don't know, I haven't done it yet, so we'll figure it out when we get there. So this one is going to be, oh, I had sample card stuff. This was another set I was going to do for a sample card. So I've got this kind of yellow and red, and then I've got this line of, it looks like a border. Oh, well, it was a border, it was a frame. And then I've got this tan, neutral, you know, so you can combine all kinds of stuff. There they are. This was the other yellow fabric I want to talk about. Okay. Let's cut a piece of this. All right, and I think what I'll do is I'll cut it so that I get a brown square and a white square stacked. So we're going to cut, yeah, I've got lines to follow. This is kind of cool. Okay, so we're going to cut it there, and I'm hoping that it'll be narrow enough to fit on this card. Now, you can do this one of two ways. I'm going to cut it like this, and then I think we're going to cut out a couple of this. The vision in my head keeps evolving. Anybody else do that? Where you have an idea, and then as you're working on it, your idea changes. Okay, so we have that one, like that. Guys, how cute is that? Okay, I was debating because I didn't want to cover up all the cool. All right, now we're going to cut out all the cool background on there. All right, now we're going to cut this out. I know I keep starting sentences and not finishing them. It's a bad habit. I think it has to do with the fact that I'm like in my room crafting by myself, so I'm not actually talking to anyone in front of me. And down here on the corner of my thing again. And I think it just messes me up. So, like, okay, and then this end is brown, so we're going to stick this. Oh, and maybe we'll stick it. It's okay, I might do it anyway. I'm going to stick it so that the hole is right there where the flower, center of the flower is. We'll move this up, and then we'll get a brown one to stick down here. So this would be another thing that you can do with fabric. I mean, I'm basically fussy cutting, or, you know, cutting elements out of the fabric that I want to use. I mean, these happen to be in little squares, but you could fussy cut out the heart and use just the heart or just the little flower. So, and then that one down there. How cute is that? Guys, sometimes I amaze myself. All right. So, same thing here. We're going to have to spread the glue thin because we don't want it coming up through the... Now, for this one, if you wanted to, you could take it to your sewing machine. I mean, you can take any of this to your sewing machine. I've seen sample cards where, so the next step on a sample card like this might be to draw boxes around, because normally there's a box there and then you stick the sample in the box. So you might come back with a marker and draw a box around that, and maybe we will when we get further in. The other thing you could do is put black stitching through and make boxes with stitches. Okay, so that one's down. Now we're going to do this one. That's probably too long. Well, maybe not. I'm trying to get stuff ready. Guys, when the school year starts, I don't know how this is going to go. I'm hoping to be able to stay. It's not going to be on the same pace that I've been doing. So you are not going to get a video every other day during the school year. I can guarantee that. I would like to be getting up you know, a couple of videos a week. But the school year starts at the end of August. If I can get stuff pre-recorded, you'll at least have videos for a little while. Until I run out. And like I said, hopefully I can keep up with being somewhere around a video, like 2 videos a week, maybe. I don't know. It's just going to be, it's going to be what it is, guys. I am, and there you have a little bookmark. Guys, I like the way this turned out. This was a wing and a prayer. Just because I was like, hey, you can make bookmarks out of these. Because I was fumbling through this. Can you see this box? That little box right there. I was fumbling through there looking for cards to put the samples on. And, yeah, that was mine. Now, something you can do with all of your wayward strip thingies here that you've got is I can get the hole, if I can get the hole poked in here. I don't know what I'm going to use to do that. Okay, this is my pokey tool that I use for, what do you call it? Making signatures. And I'm basically going to try and thread this through here, but I don't know if it's going to work. I don't think it is. Oh, you know what I could do? Hold on. Let's see if I can get it to... Oh, oh. I can get it to cut open. I might be able to get that piece of fabric through there. Should also probably get a ribbon needle. That would probably help, but, you know, I'm stubborn. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this on here and I'm going to go like that. And hopefully it pokes it through enough that I can grab it on the other side. All right. Oh, and of course I stuck it through so that it's upside down. So let's twist it like that so that we're right side up. And check that out. Oh, guys, I love how this turned out. I don't know what I'll use it in. I don't do a lot of orange journals, but I guess a fall journal would work. You know, anything like that. You could also, if you don't like the glue is going to be kind of seen through the fabric probably. Let's take some of it off. So it's a little thinner. Okay. You got that nice little... And then what I was going to say was, I got all these little buttons down here. Let's get one of these little buttons. You know me and my buttons, guys. If I can get a hold of any of them. This little guy. Oh, that's almost too little. Oh, you would work because of the light brown. Okay, do that. Turn the hot glue gun back on. Okay, and in the meantime, the other one, so this was the more complicated of the bookmarks. So, you know, you can cut stuff out, or you can just glue stuff down. So maybe I don't want to do all of that cutting. Maybe I just want a really cute bookmark, but I don't want it to be whatever is on here. I would like it to be fabric. So you take this. I'm going to turn it over like this. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to put glue all over this. I should probably do this with glue stick, but, you know, shoulda, woulda, coulda. You know what they always say? All right. And then I'm going to smear it so that it doesn't come through the fabric, because this is thin. I'm pretty sure this is Dollar Tree fabric. Pretty sure. All right, and then I'm just going to stick it down on here. And I like the other side of this. It's got kind of like fibers and stuff in it, like it's handmade or, you know, like that. So I really like that. So I'm not going to cover the back. So if you wanted to make a note, or if you wanted to use this in the journal and, you know, put, I don't know, stuff. Books you've read. All right, now we're going to take the pinking shears and go right along the edges of the bookmark. So I'm putting the triangles from the pinking shears right up against the cardboard. Hopefully. I saw you wiggle. I think this will add a nice detail to the other side of the bookmark. And then what I'm going to do when the glue dries, because I don't put wet glue through my sewing machine, I'm going to take this over to my sewing machine and put a stitch all the way around it. And then, of course, you could decorate it up. I mean, it doesn't have to stay this plain. So, I mean, it's just kind of a one fabric. So if you wanted to, there's a wrinkle down there. I don't think I'm going to be able to get it out either. It's just going to have to be there. But if you wanted to put something else on here, I think it would be fun to put fabric flowers, maybe a ribbon. Maybe both. I'm trying to line it up so it doesn't recut or mess up any of the triangles. Okay, so there we go. So there you have a bookmark. Now, that would get stitched. You could decorate it up. I mean, guys, we could put... Hold on. I got all kinds of lacy bits. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. Off to one side. Yeah? Let's do that. Okay, so we're going to take a decent sized bead of glue and run it. Right up the middle there. I know, I was trying to keep my hands dry. Best laid plans and all that. Now, when I turned my glue gun on. Why did I do that? What was I going to do? Was I going to do something with my glue gun? Guys, you got to keep an eye on me. Okay. And you could even keep a little bit of this up at the top. Like that. Okay. Stick the pin back in this. And put it back up on the shelf because I got too much stuff on my desk. Okay. Too much stuff on my desk, guys. And then, what was I? I'm going to cut this and I'm going to use the pinking shears. I'm going to line it up. If you look at it, you line it up in the triangles and then you can cut it off right in there so that it stays with your edges. And if you decide you don't like that, you can cut that off later. I'm getting, I'll get some flowers. Okay, so we're going to take this out of the middle of here. And I think right up here at the top where you would normally put like a tab or something, we're going to stick this flower. And I'm going to put a button in the middle of it. You know me, guys, I like buttons. I want to see if one of these is too big. Where do I see it? This guy. Just because I think this would be fun. Okay, so I'll put that in there like that. Yeah. Okay. I suppose I could turn it over, but you can tell that it's the back of the flower. So I don't want to turn it over. I'm going to put it down right about center. Just because that way it'll look like the button was intentionally centered, almost like your tag spot or whatever. And then I'm going to put a button on here. I wish I had, like, all of these wooden buttons that are in this jar have like little designs on them. But I don't have anything that's red. So maybe like that. Look at that. I mean, how cute is that? Little bookmark. All ready to go. And I didn't even have to poke a hole in that one. So now you can come back here and put like a sticker or, you know, something back here to cover up that hole if you wanted to. If you don't, I mean, I suppose you could leave it. But there's bookmarks. So we did 2 bookmarks. We got a couple of sample cards. The other thing I want to do, I want to get at least 3 things done. The other thing I want to do, okay, guys, I want to make fabric washi. That's what we're going to do. All right, I have, this is like industrial strength double-sided tape. I say industrial strength because it's, like I ordered it from, well, I ordered it off of Amazon, I guess, and I wanted it to be extra sticky so that it would hold the fabric. So we're going to make some tape with it, and I think that'll be a lot of fun. So basically, all I'm going to do is I'm going to take a strip of this. This is sticky on this side. I'm going to take a strip of it. And I suppose you could do this with lace too. I mean, because the tape is clear. Once you peel the backing off, the tape is clear. The problem with the lace is the tape never gets not sticky. So it's not like glue where it dries. So if you put lace on top of here, you're going to always, that sticky will always be there. Does that make sense? Hopefully. All right. Do we want to use this, or let's get some new fabrics? How about we do something new? Okay, I'm going to cheat. Okay, remember these? These were from the Dollar Tree. I used them when I showed you how to do ruffles. I probably have an open package of these in there, but that has these designs in it. But this was the first one I saw, so this is the one I grabbed. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a strip of fabric. Now, you can cut a strip of fabric. You can rip a strip of fabric. It does not have to be pre-made strips of fabric. And that's actually this wide. Darn it, guys. I need something thinner. I'm going to cut it. But, okay, so this is a really, really thin fabric that I have. And you know how washi tape is really, really thin? So we're going to make a piece of washi tape out of this. And basically, I'm just going to lay the fabric on here, hopefully relatively straight. Your problem, of course, is that everything wants to roll. I'm going to get up to the edge, and I'm just going to lay this down on here. That's really all there is to it. Okay. And then I'm going to cut it. I'm actually going to cut it like that. And then you would cut it out. I don't know if you guys want to sit here and watch me cut out fabric, especially with these scissors. It'll take me forever. I suppose you would want to see what it looks like.
And of course, I'm supposing that people see those little bits right there that somehow got skipped. I don't know, it wrinkled while I was cutting it or something. All right, but look at that edge, okay? Take that string off of there. And then we do this side. And of course and then when I want to use it, I peel this off. This is the backing. Ooh. All right, let's put that back on there. And if you can get this tape, you can make washi out of anything, right? Well, I mean, you can make washi out of any fabric. Now, I will say this. I don't know how well it would work on the heavier fabrics. This is an extremely thin piece of fabric. I mean, if fabrics had a tissue paper, this would be them. This would be it. But you can probably use, most of your regular weight fabrics. I don't know how it would work on like upholstery fabric. I suppose if the adhesive is strong enough, it'll work just fine. Okay, and there, I have a piece of fabric washi tape. All right, and then when I want to use it, I just peel this off. And hopefully the the backing comes off, not the fabric. This is going to be like stickers. It's going to bug me. But I feel like you guys get the idea. I don't know if you actually want to sit here and... There you go. And it's sticky. How fun is that? So, washi tape. Now, let's do one of these. I'm going to stick a piece of this on here. And we're going to make this into washi tape. I don't need a big piece. I mean... But I mean, you got a lot of possibilities. At 8.5 inches. It'll work on, a page or border of a page or something like that. Now, what I'm thinking is, I'm wondering if I could line this up on here because I think they're about the same width. So I'm wondering if I can line this up on here and then kind of unroll it as I go. Keeping it nice and straight, maybe. Okay, and then again, just cut it off. Now this one won't need trimming because I'm pretty sure these strips are the same width as this tape. There you have it, another piece of washi. This is so cool. All right, and we're gonna make a thin one because I got this. Perfect. So let's peel this off. I'm gonna try and do the same thing. I don't know that it worked real well, but we're gonna try it anyway. This one's harder actually because there's not as much to grip. And it doesn't stand up as well. It's almost like if you're hot gluing something, you put it down a little, you hot glue a little, you put more down, you hot glue a little more, like that. Oh, I can see it on that side over there. Which either means I'm too far over to this side or it's not as, the fabric's not as wide as I thought. But in the same token, I mean, when you peel it off, if it's too much over, you can always cut it. But if it's not, if it's just, because it's under the little fuzzies. So if worse comes to worse, it'll just hold the fuzzies down. Okay, and I'm going to take it off right there, and that way there's a thin piece of washi. All right, guys. That's my 3 more little fun ideas for fabric. So we did washi. We did bookmarks. And we did sample cards. Oh, I was going to get a pen. Hold on. I got brown only because, I don't know. Actually, you know what? I don't want, yeah, I could use brown. Okay, so you're just going to make, and these don't have to be neat. The whole point of this is that you hand did it. It wasn't a sample card that you printed. It was just a sample card that you made. So these lines do not have to be straight. They can be wobbly. You can make them wobbly on purpose. And there you go. Okay, and then make another one. I'm concentrating on my line drawing. They could also be, like, I'm making my corners sharp, like a little box. You could make them rounded. They don't really even have to be the same size, although, I mean, width-wise, I am kind of making them similar. Although I think they've gotten wider on this side as I've gone down, and they've stayed relatively the same on that side. Now this one, I'm probably going to like make it look like I went over the top of the box. Which means I need to make it look like the line goes under the fabric. And then you could make the lines in the fabric on the card look like stitches. You know where you do the dashed lines? Comes across to right there. And I'm writing on glue, guys, because there's a ton of glue right there. Apparently I couldn't help it. Okay. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to do with fabric that I want us to do before I stop the fabric series. I'm debating on, since I'm going to be doing, like, we're going to be getting into the school year soon. I'm debating on whether or not to put the Making From My Mess series on hold for just a bit. Here you go. Cute, right? And possibly just work on journals and stuff and bring you along for the ride for the journals I'm working on. And, you know, so once or twice a week, you'll see me working in a journal. I don't know. Maybe while I'm working in said journals, we will, you know, oh, look what we're going to make with this to go in this journal. I really want to have, you know, like that. But I think that that's going to be what happens when the school year starts, just because until I get a feel for how this school year is going to go. They moved to a different kind of scheduling this school year, so I'm actually going to have an extra day home every week. Well, 3 weeks out of the month. I can't really remember how they're doing it exactly. And then, so that'll be good. But just that little update to let you know where that stands. And I will see you guys with the next one. I have a lot of fabric to clean up or make things out of or something. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. God bless you for being here.